now the running world has changed. I mean, running has exploded. I mean, you can look at race entries over the last 15, 20 years. The whole market, apparel, shoes, everything is running is just continuing to explode year over year. And I think with that came a demographic shift in the running world, where the traditional running world of pro athletes still very much exists, but this like average Joe, everyday Jane running their first marathon has just exploded. And I think these companies who, previously probably found a lot of value in focusing on marketing towards elite runners, that's shifted. I think now there's a almost frantic attempt in the running industry to reach out to and pull all of these unconventional runners into the space and reach out to them. And so, yeah, I started working with Brooks a year ago. They reached out. I already am very aligned with their core values of the company, especially in terms of diversity and inclusion in the running community. And then on top of that, they make, the best of the best. Their shoes and apparel are absolutely bonkers. And so I don't think I could have hit the jackpot more in crossing paths with them at the right time. And there are other companies doing it. So I wouldn't say they're the only one, but I haven't seen very many other major players in the running, shoe, and apparel space make the same emotional and financial commitment to this segment of the running world. It's not just lip service. They're investing in us. They're also investing in the causes that we care about. Like I could not have gotten luckier. It's just so much more than hey, can we sponsor you for a year to wear our shoes? And I love that. I thrive on more deep, integrated, long-term relationships, and I just feel like I hit the jackpot. And it's I'm getting used to it now, which I kind of hate. But when it first happened, I could barely wrap my head around it. I could barely wrap my head around the fact that I was a sponsored runner. What? Like, you don't even have to talk to me. Like, just look at me and like, wow, really? That's the world that we live in now? Like, how freaking cool is that? How cool is that? It's very cool.
What does it mean to you?
Well, it like very much satisfies that need to be something that I'm not expected to be. If you think that my heart doesn't just explode every time I get to tell somebody that I'm a sponsored runner with Brooks, you're dead wrong. Like, it's just like just the ability to say that is just the ability to have that in my Instagram profile. I love defying expectations in that regard. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little overwhelming. And then there's so much imposter syndrome that comes with it too, because then I see other people who are doing similar things to me and I'm like, oh, their content is better, or oh, they're really more invested in their cause. Everyone on my team at Brooks, we're all cause-based runners. So we all have, I'm working for inclusion in the LGBTQ plus community and more size inclusion. But we're all passionate about some other segment of diversity and inclusion. So it just means a lot to see such a major player investing in us. I think it's pretty cool.
The craziest thing about imposter syndrome. So I've done over 250 episodes of this podcast, and it's probably been referenced 25% of the time. And these people are like literal Olympians who are objectively at the top of the top. And even Olympic medalists have imposter syndrome. I had Brad Stulberg on the podcast, and he literally wrote the book on peak performance. That's what it's called. And And I regret not talking more about imposter syndrome with him and how he's found it in his research, because it exists with everyone. And I find that to be so fascinating, that like those who have achieved these objective levels of success still deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to meet your idols. Scott Jurek is on the same team as me at Brooks, and pretty rude, but they didn't clue me into that before the first Zoom call that we all got on. And I'm not like, I don't get starstruck. Like there's not, I live in LA. I was a bartender for ages. I have served all the celebrities, and it's not something that like I usually like freak out about, but there are a few like specific people that I would just like, if when I meet Dolly Parton, I will be in tears for sure. Kathy Najimy, the actress from like Hocus Pocus, I don't know if you know her. Buzz Aldrin, I wanted to be an astronaut so hard when I was a little kid. Like Buzz Aldrin, I would just probably soil my panties on the spot. And Scott Jurek is one of them. Scott Jurek is one of them that like, maybe unexpectedly, I need to be prepared for. And I had to leave the call. I was like, just like shut my computer. I was like, I wasn't prepared for this. I would have done my hair if I knew Scott was going to be here. And throughout the course of the year, it's just been so interesting to get to know him and like have him transition from like such idol status in my mind to like a friend. That's just so weird. Like, but turns out he's actually a normal person. He eats, he poops, all that stuff. Who knew?
I've seen him do one of those things.
Yeah. Luckily, only one for me too. But yeah, it's been such an interesting experience because I've never been through that process before of getting to know on a personal level somebody who I put on such a like unattainably high pedestal. So yeah, it's weird, and I'm sure there are things that he's super insecure about. I cannot imagine what, but I'm sure he has doubts, and I know that he's scared of things when he starts a race or starts an FKT of a 3,000 mile trail. So it's we all have it. Like it's there for everyone. I think there's a lot of value in learning how to give it the middle finger and keep going anyway.